So ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, the Haunting of Verdansk is officially here, and with it come a lot, and I mean a lot of Easter eggs. This is by far the most amount of changes and updates that we've had to Warzone since it has launched. Not only is it a night map, but on pretty much every single location, they added something new, whether that be ghosts, a serial killer, Jigsaw. There is stuff everywhere here. And what I wanted to do with today's video is go over all of these Easter eggs that they have added in to Warzone and Modern Warfare in one video, throw them all together so that you know and you can go looking for them for yourselves. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. So starting out with the trick-or-treating, basically what these are is just various items that you can get by looting in various different areas of the map. Now, one misunderstanding with these is that I personally thought that you had to find a specific chest in a specific area of the map and get it at the beginning of every single game. That is actually not the case. For example, with the spoopy scene here for this calling card, all you have to do is go to Storage Town and open chests until you find this item. It's not a specific chest, just keep opening chests. It can be a regular chest, a legendary chest, and once you find it, you'll get a notification on screen as you're seeing here, and then boom, you got that item. You have to do this at 16 different locations, and then you get all of the different items. Now, a couple of pieces of advice if you're struggling with this: you'll know you're in the right location if you're opening chests and confetti is coming out. That is how you know you're in one of those locations where you still have to find an item. On top of this, some locations are a little bit harder to find chests. For example, Superstore was one of the ones that was more difficult for me, simply because it's a smaller area with less chests, whereas Airport, you can go to hangars, you can go to the tents outside, you can go underground. It's a very large area, so there's many chests that you can get. Now, hence the name Trick or Treat. It's not always sunshines and rainbows when you open these chests. Sometimes things like this happen. Watch a second try. Ah! Nothing to see here. Now, there are much more Easter eggs than this. For example, one of the first ones that I found is I went to Dam, and at Dam, there are these blue ghosts pretty much everywhere. And seemingly, as I explored more and more of the areas, these blue ghosts were in many different locations. They were in Stadium, they were in Farmland, they were in Gulag. They were pretty much at all of the big named locations throughout the map. Now, on top of this, at Dam, there was also this black ghost at the very bottom of the dam. It was much less like a human, more so of a blob. I don't know what this one was. The other ones you could kind of make out to be like a bride or a headless person or things along those lines. This one was kind of more difficult to tell. So the next most prevalent Easter egg is the Jigsaw Easter Egg. Now, this one can be found once again all over the maps. Anytime you see a TV with static on it, every once in a while, Jigsaw will pop up on screen. The most prevalent one that I saw was at Stadium. There's 3 big TVs overlooking the stadium, and in each of them, Jigsaw can pop up and you'll see him. Now, also at Stadium, there are a lot of ghosts here. This is an area where you'll see a lot of those blue ghosts just roaming around the main concourse of Stadium. But, as we talked about, with that Jigsaw Easter egg, there is much more to this one than meets the eye. Much more. You see, if you go to the downtown metro and look on the ground, you'll see a bunch of pools of blood with body parts laying on the ground. And as you make your way down the stairs, you're just going to see something written on the wall. Hello, I want to play a game. May sound familiar if you've seen any Saw movies ever before. And as you go down the stairs, you're going to hear something. Now, on top of this, in the metro, you're going to see some ghost trains. We'll talk about that more in a second. But as you make your way across to the room across the wall, what you realize is that this room is covered in blood. There's a bunch of pictures of Jigsaw on the wall, written with, "Hello, do you want to play a game?" And then in the corner of the room, there is Billy sitting on a tricycle. And this is what the room sounds like. So personally, that's one of my favorite Easter eggs, but we still have a lot more to go through. Speaking of the metros, though, at all of the metros, you can find these same ghost trains. So as you see them go by, they speed by, they are ghost-like, you can see through them. On top of that, in one of the tunnels, I found a ghost cat. Turns out you can find this ghost cat hanging out around Verdansk. I thought that was one of the more interesting ghosts that we could find. The next area where things get interesting is at Kravnik Farmlands. This is the area where you can actually hunt for a serial killer. But there are a lot more Easter eggs in this area. This is probably one of the most haunted areas on the map. First of all, the first thing that I noticed is I heard some strange laughing when I was in the middle of Krovnik farmland. But that is just the beginning of the Haunting of Krovnik farmland. This one, you can find pretty much every Easter egg. You can find TVs with Jigsaw on it. You can see the blue ghosts scattered throughout the map. Even in some of the buildings, you can find anti-gravity blood that goes from the ground up to the ceiling and sometimes even through floors. This is scattered throughout farmland. You can find all of these Easter eggs. But there is one much bigger one. So in one specific building in Krovnik farmland, it is specifically in section H7 on the map in the top right hand corner. If you go to this building, walk through it, you'll see a bunch of, again, body parts, blood laying on the ground. And then when you think all is fine and dandy, this is what you'll hear. And if you go hunting around, you'll actually see what appears to be a ghost of Leatherface holding a chainsaw, hence the sound of the chainsaw that you are hearing. Now, I was kind of hoping there would actually be a serial killer that you could kind of fight, shoot at, maybe kill, and get something when you kill him, but unfortunately, it's not. It's just a ghost that you can hear holding a chainsaw. Now, a couple more smaller Easter eggs to look at. First of all, at Gulag, if you land here, the first thing that you'll notice is there's some things flying around in the air. To me, it looks like the Dementors from Harry Potter are flying around the prison. And this is really the big Easter egg here. There's also the blue ghost that we saw before, but nothing really else special. At the graveyard close to Block, you can actually see, once again, a bunch of blue ghosts, but every once in a while, from the graves, a skeleton arm will reach out, and you'll hear zombie noises similar to these ones. And then the last big one that we have for Warzone is the ghost Thomas the Tank Engine, aka the ghost Choo Choo, that comes by in Quarry every once in a while. So a pretty cool Easter egg with kind of like the skull on the front of the train, but every time I see it, I can't help but picture this. So ladies and gentlemen, that is Thomas the Tank Ghost, and that is pretty much the summary of everything that you can find around the map in Warzone. However, there's one more other Easter egg that I kind of wanted to point out to you guys. So this is one of the new characters in the game by the name of Dr. Karlov. He's a part of the Dr. Karlov Lives bundle, and when this came out, I was kind of curious to who this character was. I didn't recognize him from any movies or anything like that, so I did a little bit of research, and this is actually a character native to Warzone, and they gave him a little bit of backstory. So this is his backstory, is Dr. Karlov is an infamous Verdansk urban legend. He was a scientist who obsessively studied the effects of electricity, running experiments on those who came too close to his hideout. So essentially that is all we know about him, and based off of his bundle, he has weapons that literally use electricity to shoot at people. Now for me, this sounded a little bit too similar to Frankenstein, so I did a bit of research, and the original actor to play Frankenstein is none other than Boris Karloff. I think this is where Infinity Ward and Activision got their inspiration for the name Dr. Karlov. So that is pretty much it. That is every Easter egg that I could find around Warzone having to do with Halloween, ghosts, things along those lines. There's a couple of things in multiplayer, like pumpkins' heads appearing after you're on a 3-kill streak. On top of that, if you kill someone and kill confirmed, a head pops up instead of a dog tag, and scarecrows replace the domination flags. Other than that, that is pretty much all that they have added into multiplayer. There's no Halloween map or anything like that, unless they add it next week into the second week of the Haunting of Verdansk. But other than that, these are all of the Easter eggs. It's possible that I missed something, and if I did, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Honestly, as I said at the beginning of this video, the coolest update that we have received for Warzone, for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, at least in my opinion so far, is this one. It's changed the most, it's added the most Easter eggs, and hopefully going into Black Ops Cold War, we start to see more and more events like this one. And in fact, I would love to see a Christmas event come, well, Christmas this year, and we'll have to wait to see what actually happens. Also, I'm really interested to see what they actually do with the DLC and characters and things like that with Modern Warfare and Warzone going into the next year of Call of Duty, but that's a whole other conversation for a different day. So as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, it's always appreciated if you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, like what you see, be sure to hit the subscribe button. It is the best way to stay up to date on everything Call of Duty. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.